Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this Proctor Gallagher Institute presentation on the science of getting rich with Bob Proctor. My name's Becca Hansen, and it's my absolute pleasure to be hostessing the call for you today. And I just want to extend a warm welcome, and I want to say thank you for choosing to spend your time with us today. We know there are lots of places you could be, and we're so grateful to have you on the line with us to discuss The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles, which is that little green book that inspired the hit movie The Secret. So I know Bob has an incredible presentation in store for us today. I won't waste any time. Bob, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Greetings. Thank you, Becca. And I want to welcome everyone. And we'll bring Ms. Gallagher on the screen. How are you today, Sandy?
I'm doing great. Hello, Bob. Looking forward to the webinar.
Good to have you with us. I have put a website up there. It's sgrevent.com, and I've put it there prior to going into this presentation. We will put it on at the end, but I would recommend that you write it down. There were about 4,000 people, 3,800 and some that registered for this webinar. There are 126 seats left for this seminar at the LAX Marriott in Los Angeles. It begins on February the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th. I believe that's the number, isn't it, Becca? Is Rebecca there?
I'm here, Bob. That's right. February
Did I lose her?
8th and 9th.
7th, 8th, and 9th at the LAX Marriott in Los Angeles. Now, this is a powerful program. It will definitely be sold out tonight. It may be sold out before the presentation's over. If you feel this is something you want to get involved in, I would recommend you jump on board. You're going to hear from Sandy towards the end of this presentation, and just what a powerhouse this seminar has been in her life. Changed her life, didn't it? Is everybody muted?
It completely changed my life, and I can't. No, you're having a party in a dark room, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, the seminar completely changed my life, and I can't wait to tell everyone about it because you don't want to miss this event. This is an extremely powerful, life-changing seminar.
Well, my life changed about the same as Sandy's did, only it changed 53 years ago. And it just has never stopped changing. My income went from $4,000 to $175,000 a year in 1961. Then it went over $1 million, and I had no idea what I was doing. I could not tell you what happened to me. I was what you call an unconscious competent. I have since found that most people that are doing very well cannot articulate on why they are. I have worked for many large corporations, and the companies do not know why their stars are stars. If they knew, they would can it and give it to all their employees. Almost all people that are really winning in a big way are unconscious competents. They're doing everything right. They're working by the law. But they just cannot articulate. The author of The Science of Getting Rich said you don't get rich by doing certain things. You get rich by doing things in a certain way. I wanted to know why I was winning, and so I began to study. I ended up leaving my own company, leaving a job or a business where I was earning quite a few $100,000 a year, and I took a job for $18,000. I wanted to go to work with Earl Nightingale and Lloyd Conant. They became my mentors. I was in Lloyd Conant's home in 1968 when Lloyd gave me this book. And this book helped me understand how I had done what I did. What happened to me? Why I got into earning the money. Wallace Wattles broke it down in a very, very understandable way. He organized and presented it in a very coherent manner. I asked Lloyd Conant how he started the Nightingale Conant Corporation sitting at his kitchen table. He said, well, I had this little book. I read it all weekend. And then on Monday, I made up my mind I'd start a world-class organization. He didn't only start a company, he literally started an industry. The Nightingale-Conant Corporation is the corporation that started over 50 years ago and really started the personal development industry in a recorded fashion as we know it today. And I began to study that book. This is the book that inspired Rhonda Byrne to make the movie The Secret. I was reading an email from Vision Lakhani. I've got to get a hold of him. He said it was another book that inspired Rhonda Byrne and about the law of attraction, and that's not correct. That is definitely not correct. It was the Science of Getting Rich that her daughter gave her to read, and that's what inspired her in Melbourne, Australia, to make The Secret, which I was fortunate enough to be a major part in, and it has since impacted the lives of approximately 380 people. I want you to listen carefully here tonight, because you definitely can create your own environment with The Strangest Secret. There is absolutely no doubt about it. You can create your own economy. You see, I think everyone wants freedom. Everyone does, the world over. We want time and money freedom. And you will be amazed at how much free time you have when you never have to think about money. Do you know, money's a funny thing. Financial success has a lot to do with being in the right place at the right time. But that's not all there is to it. You see, there's something missing. A lot of people will tell you that financial success is being in the right place at the right time. But I'm quite certain you've been in the right place at the right time. I know I have, and we didn't cash in on it. You have to have the awareness that you're in the right place at the right time. Awareness is really the key. And if you haven't got the awareness, it isn't going to happen. Your ability to get rich is dependent upon your level of awareness. Let this little dot in the center of the screen represent your level of awareness. As that dot expands, so does your awareness expand. It's absolutely phenomenal how this happens. You see, our awareness is something that we should be developing all the days of our life. You eliminate darkness when you turn on the light. Now think of this. A person doesn't earn $100,000 a year because they want to earn $100,000 a year. They earn $100,000 a year because they're not aware of how to earn $100,000 a month. It's so basic, it's so simple, and it's so misunderstood. We want to develop a higher level of awareness. Let there be light. Let there be a greater awareness in our life. And as our awareness expands, our whole life changes. Now the question is, how do you expand your level of awareness? Well, that's what Wallace Waddell teaches us in The Science of Getting Rich. Effective education combined with professional coaching over a reasonable period of time will expand the person's level of awareness and improve their ability to earn money. It's that simple. And that's what we want to suggest you do. You attend the Science of Getting Rich seminar, and your life will change. We say it's a sad thing when a child is afraid of the dark. I'll tell you something else. It's a lot sadder when an adult is afraid of the light. So we want to change that. We want to change our life like we've changed ours. You see, everything you're seeking is seeking you. You may not think that's true, but it is true. You live in an orderly universe, and all we're ever lacking is awareness. All science and all theology teach that all the knowledge there ever was or ever will be is 100% evenly present in all places at the same time. Well, all we have to do is become aware of its presence. I want to suggest you keep your eye on the ball. Watch it go from stop to go. It's a beautiful thing. You see, as we we start to become aware of something. We start to become aware that earning money is a game. It's a mind game. So let's let the mind game begin. Let that circle represent the mind. Now we'll put a body on it, and then we'll just take it down here and go to work with it. You like those sound effects? I've become very creative at times. You see, the mind moves the body into action, and the action produces results. So we take a look at the results we're getting, and we think, that's not the results I want. They're the results I want, but they're on a higher level. See, if you're going to get those results, you're operating on this level of awareness, you've got to get up here on this level. There's a gap. That gap is the gap we want to close. It's a strange thing, but that's the way it operates. This is where most people are stuck, and this is where they want to go. How do we do that? That's what the science of getting rich is all about. You see, it's a mind game, and when you understand the mind, everything in your life begins to change. It's all about the mind. It's all about your marvelous mind. And that's what we're going to talk about here for a moment. This is the foundation of the Proctor Gallagher Institute. We deal with the mind. We teach large organizations, we teach individuals. And we bring various concepts to the surface and teach them. So let's take a look at the mind. Let's take a look at your mind and your paradigm. You see, Dr. Truman Fleet was very involved in the healing arts back in 1934. He stated the mind is an activity, it's not a thing. No one has ever seen the mind. And he said, in order to eliminate confusion, I'm going to create an image of the mind. Let that represent the mind. And he divided it into two parts. He said, there's the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the body. Now, I've been studying since October 1961. That's 53 years. I study it every day. I'm going to tell you, this is without question the most valuable idea I have ever learned. If you've read The Science of Getting Rich, when you go through the Science of Getting Rich seminar, you'll think you never laid eyes on it. We're going to take it line by line. We're going to take it paragraph by paragraph, concept by concept, law by law, and we're going to break it down. We're going to reduce it to the ridiculous. You're going to be at a table with 6 or 7 or 8 people, and you're going to get into a discussion. Everybody in that room is going to become familiar with everybody else in the room. There'll be 520 people in that program. The ballroom will be full. You're going to get to know a lot of people. Your life is going to change. Now let's take a look at you for a moment. There's your conscious, your subconscious, and your body. Your conscious mind is your thinking mind. This is the part of you that the school worked on and filled up. This is where your intellect is resident. Now this is your emotional mind. Your emotional mind operates totally different from your conscious mind. This is where you have the ability to choose. You can actually choose to understand a science that has been around since man first walked on the planet. It is the science of getting rich. It's not an accident when people get rich. They get rich by design and they get rich by choice. You have the ability to accept or reject every word I'm telling you. But I will tell you this. If you do exactly what I say until you find out I'm lying or that I don't know what I'm talking about, I guarantee you everything in your life will change. I don't lie, and I do know what I'm talking about. And when you reject information that you hear on the news and the radio and newspaper and television about how bad the economy is, then you can go ahead and you can originate an idea of how good you want the economy to be. God didn't make you subjective to your environment. God made you in such a way that you can create your own environment. See, all the other little creatures on the planet are totally at home in their environment. They blend in. They blend in. You and I, we're totally disoriented in our environment, and that's because we have the ability to create our own environment. We have these higher faculties. You see, when you originate an idea and you put it in your subconscious mind must accept it because it has no ability to reject. And understand this, it cannot differentiate between what's real and what's imagined. Now, the sad part is, in our little life, genetically, and then for the first 4 or 5 years of our life, we had the wrong information put there. And then we went to school, and they continued with the process. Why is it we have people graduating from universities with phenomenal degrees, and they can't even find work? That's not an accident. School has never taught you how to earn money, and that is because school doesn't know how to earn money. You could get a degree in economics from Harvard. They never taught you how to earn money. They might teach you how to store it, how to count it, how to play with it, but they don't teach you how to earn it. We're going to teach you how to earn it. See, to be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm. Your subconscious mind has been programmed in your little life. We're going to show you how to change that. We're going to change your whole concept about how to live. We're going to get away from creating or from competing because we're going to get into creating. We create rather than compete. And we show you how you have been actually gifted with infinite potential. And it's a matter of making a decision to develop that potential. Now, I'm going to just run you through the various lessons. We start out the science of getting rich with Chapter 1, the right to be rich. You not only have a right to be rich, I think you have an obligation to be rich. God's gift to you is more talent and ability than you'll ever hope to use in your lifetime. Your gift to God is to develop as much of that talent and ability as you can in this lifetime. When you finish that first chapter, you're going to find you've got a number of conflicts going on in your mind because what you're being taught is not what you've been programmed to believe. But what you've been programmed to believe is what's giving you the results right now that you don't want. 97% of our population never learn how to earn money. 3% of the population earn 97% of all the money that's being earned. The second chapter will really shock you into reality. That's where we get into the science. That's where we take a look at the laws. The law is God's modus operandi. I quoted Dr. Werner von Braun in The Secret. He was asked what it would take to build a rocket that would carry a person to the moon, and he answered in 5 letters. He was asked by President John Kennedy, who was president of the United States at that time, and he answered the president by saying the will to do it. He said the laws of this universe are so precise that we don't have any difficulty building spaceships, sending them to the moon, and we can time the landing with the precisions of a fraction of a second. Before we finish Chapter 2, you'll know what every one of those laws are. You will have investigated them. You will have talked about them with your people, the peers at your table, and you will understand them. You will understand why when you violate the law you go in the wrong direction, and when you live in harmony with the law you go in the right direction. You're going to start to understand opportunity. You're going to start to understand that it's never been monopolized. Opportunity is greater now than it's ever been, but it's always been here, and we've always been able to capitalize on it. It's so easy. You're going to understand the first principle in the science, and you're going to see how the average individual on the street violates this principle day in and day out, and then wonder why they're struggling. This first principle is phenomenal. Chapter 4 is one of my very favorites. It's what really woke me up. It's what helped me understand what I had started to do in 1961 that none of the people around me were doing. Why my income went from $4,000 to $175,000, went over $1 million. I had 2 months high school. I had no business experience, and yet I started out with a bucket and a mop. I started washing floors just to earn some extra money. And in less than 5 years, I was washing floors in Toronto, Montreal, Boston, Cleveland, Atlanta, London, England. Millions of dollars worth of volume a year because I was following the first principle. But I didn't know what I was doing. I couldn't tell you what I was doing. So it was non-transferable. I couldn't teach it to anybody else. But when I got into this, I started to understand it. In Chapter 5, talks about increasing life. Understand this, your life is either increasing or it's decreasing. One of the basic laws of life is increase or decrease, create or disintegrate. You're either getting better or you're going the other way. We should be getting better every day of our life. I'll be 80 on my next birthday. I got more energy than most people in their 20s because I understand this principle. You're not supposed to slow down when you get older. You're supposed to speed up. You're supposed to calm down as you get older. The wiser you become, the more calm you become. James Allen wrote about it. He said, calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. Have we given you enough up to this point? Go to sgrevent.com and register, because I can assure you by the time this is over, it will be sold out. Increasing Life. It'll wake a lot of people up. Chapter 6, we're not even halfway through, and how riches come to you. Because they do come to you. We talked about it in The Secret. We talked about the law of attraction. You literally attract it. But how do you attract it? See, The Secret left it short. Said you just have to want it. It goes beyond want. You've got to turn the want into a desire. But you see, you will learn how the secrets, how the riches come to you. We're going into each one of these. We're digging into it. This is a chapter that changed Sandra Gallagher's life forever. And you're going to get involved in the exercise that she got involved in a number of years ago in Phoenix, in Arizona. I told her how to put this to work, how to turn it into a principle in her life, how, if you use this, you will be connected to your source, and it works like a charm. You'll be given an extra book just for that. And then this one, thinking in a certain way. That is the secret. That is the secret. That's thinking in a lawful way. You see, when you operate by law, your world begins to change. And then, what did Dr. Werner von Braun say when John Kennedy asked him what it would take to build a rocket to the moon? He said, the will to do it. You've got to learn how to use the will. You've got to start to understand that the will is a mental faculty. You've got to understand that the will is something that's given to the human that's not given to any other form of animal life. That's right. You see, when a little squirrel is born, the squirrel can start to fend for itself right away because it operates by instinct. You had instinct removed. And when you were born, if you weren't looked after, completely looked after, you would have died. You would have starved to death. You had to be taken care of until you were old enough to take care of yourself. Unfortunately, we were never taught about our higher faculties, the will being one of them. Wait until you see how the will is used. This is so important that he wrote 2 chapters on it. The further use of the will. Oh, you could read it in the book. But you're never going to understand it the way we explain it. We've been working with this. I've been studying this every day since 1968. Now, you know, even if you're a little slow and you study the same thing for that long, you're going to learn something about it. I've been teaching this all over the world. I have not taught this seminar for the last 5 years. But I'm teaching it again. It's a special program. There's a lot of energy goes into it. You're going to absolutely further use of the will. It is so good. Now, we said thinking in a certain way, but thinking by itself is never going to cut it. You've got to act in a certain way. You see, thinking won't do it. You must act in a certain way. We hear that people become what they think about. It goes beyond that. It's how you think in your heart. Solomon gave us the answer. He was a very wealthy guy. He was one of the wealthiest men that ever lived. And he said, it's as a person thinketh in their heart. The heart being the universal side of your personality. Well, we're going to show you how to take your thoughts and turn them into actions. It's so good. And we're not just going to act. We're going to get involved in effective action. It is so powerful and yet so misunderstood. But as you get involved, you're going to be laying down the plan of action. And when you walk out of the LAX Marriott, when that seminar's ended, I'm going to tell you, a different person is going to walk out. You'll never be the same again. When you go home, people are going to look at you different. All your friends, they're going to realize you're different. Your energy is going to change. It'll change in that room, and it'll never go back to its original state. Never. I got a call this morning from a gentleman who I have been coaching now for a number of years. He fell in love with this seminar a number of years ago. And he said, Bob, I got nominated for an Academy Award this morning. He's going to be at this program. He's going to show you exactly what he learned and what it's done for him. It has taught him how to earn millions of dollars. And he's gone right to the top of his industry. He's a producer. And he's being nominated for an Academy Award. He said, I want to come out, Bob. And he said, when I get on that stage accepting it, I'm going to tell them it was you and this program that taught me how to do it. But I want to get up in the seminar and tell the people. He said, I'll be there. I will be there. You talk about effective action. He knows something about effective action. Then how do you get into the right business? Isn't that interesting? See, I was earning millions of dollars, but I was in the wrong business. I was supposed to be in this business. And I changed into it a number of years ago, and I'll never look back. You're never going to look back. And when you leave everybody you come in contact with, you're going to leave them with the impression of increase. You will attract people to you because everyone you touch, you're going to improve their life. Their life is going to change, and you're going to change it. And I'm going to tell you why, because you have becoming an advancing person. Oh, yeah, you're going to move ahead, but I'm going to give you a warning. I'm going to give you a warning. In absence of clearly defined goals, people become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia until ultimately they become enslaved by it. You see, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. Now, that is not a play on words. That is the real deal. You get one bite at the apple. One bite at the apple. I've taught this in our coaching program for years. It's about lifestyle. You know, you can go back into the Upanishads, as far back as you can go, the most ancient of writings, and they wrote there, from abundance, he took abundance, and still abundance remained. You see, you're drawing on an abundant universe. Great author wrote about it. He said, when you're dealing with infinite, you can never take more than your share. It doesn't matter how much you take. There'll be more for someone else. Yes, the SGR seminar will change your life. It's what was responsible for the secret. And now I'm going to ask the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Proctor Gallagher Institute, the one who heads up our company, is my partner, to explain how this program changed her life and when it changed. Sandy, would you take it away?
You bet. Thanks, Bob. You know, if you're listening to Bob and something inside of you is kind of stirring, like you just feel like maybe this is the right thing for you, don't think anymore. Just go ahead and take action. Because I remember back in August of 2006, at the time I was an attorney, I was practicing law, I was doing really complicated deals and securities and bank regulatory stuff, and I was at the top of my field, making high six-figure income, you know, really well respected by my peers, great clients, but there was something in me that wanted something more in my life. And at that time, someone invited me to this seminar, and they didn't tell me it was a Bob Proctor seminar. They didn't tell me it was a Science of Getting Rich seminar. All they said was it was a leadership seminar, and it was something I would really like. So, you know, I loved leadership-type seminars, so I said, sure, I'll go. It was in Vancouver, Washington, Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, August 18th, 19th, and 20th. And I really didn't know what I was getting into, but I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And I went there, and I will never forget this day, the evening on Friday, August 18th, and I'm sitting in the seminar, and I can see myself in the table, and, you know, exactly what table, where I was in the room, and Bob comes out on stage. And I had just seen him in The Secret. I didn't know anything about The Secret. I didn't know anything about Bob Proctor. I didn't know anything about anyone else in The Secret. But someone, you know, gave it to me. I watched it, and it really did something to me inside. It just got, wow, it just got me on fire. And so then to see this as a Bob Proctor seminar, I'm like, wow. And within 15 minutes, I swear, it was like my head was taken off and shaken up, and I was just flashing. I was sitting there in the seminar, but my mind was flashing through the boardrooms and the executive offices that I'd been in over almost 2 decades at that point, and seeing people not getting the results that they wanted, and then listening to the ideas that Bob was communicating so effectively. And all of a sudden, I got it. I got why they were stuck. I got why they didn't get the results they wanted. I got why the deals didn't close that should have closed, and so on. And so Saturday morning, we're in there all day, and Bob says, what do you want? What do you really want? And he had a way of really convincing you that whatever you wanted, you could have, whatever, so long as you truly wanted it. And so I wrote in our little green Science of Getting Rich book in teeny tiny print, I want to be on the inner circle of Bob's company. I want to be Bob Proctor's closest advisor, and I want to create a program with Bob to bring in to the companies and to the executives that I've been working with. And I wrote it in teeny tiny print, and I closed the book so no one would see it because I was embarrassed, you know, like, who are you? You're just a lawyer. And but I wrote it, and Sunday night when we were leaving the seminar, Bob said, you know, many of you will leave your idea here in this room, so make a decision now that you are going to follow through with it. You're going to make this happen in your life. And I made that decision, and that was 7.5 years ago. And it was a transformational weekend. I remember thinking, I don't know if I have enough time, if I can spare 2.5 days to go to this seminar. And thank God I didn't keep that idea from stopping me, because it gave me time. See, this seminar is so powerful. You will feel like you have more time. You will find more money in your life if that's what you want. You will have greater success. It doesn't matter what level of success you have in your life right now. And there are going to be 520 people. I keep hearing my BlackBerry beep because we're getting all kinds of orders. This seminar is going to fill up. 520 people in there, like-minded people that you're going to meet, and that was one of the most powerful experiences of the weekend. Truly, was how bonded we got at our table. You're going to have round tables, and you're doing exercises through the whole weekend because it's about action. Action is how you get the results, and so this seminar is so beautiful because Bob teaches and then has you implement the idea immediately. Teaches some more and implement, and you do this with your small group. And you get to interact with the whole room at times too. Really powerful seminar. If you have any desire to go, just sign up for it now. You won't regret it.
Thank you very much, Sandy. You know, she was being fairly modest. Sandy Gallagher graduated from university 25 years before she left her law practice. She graduated the #1 banking lawyer in all of the United States, not just in her university. She had a bachelor's, a master's, and a doctorate degree in law. She had done $100 billion in business, bringing banks together, buying banks, selling banks, turning them public. This woman is a financial genius, and she has changed the face of our company. In fact, we even changed the name. It's the Proctor Gallagher Institute today. You're going to benefit from her financial wisdom in this seminar. This is really something. Now listen, if you are a little reluctant, think of this quote by Joseph Campbell. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. Make a decision. Don't let anything stop you. I don't care if you have to borrow the money from your grandmother. Borrow it and get there. You may say that I'm a long ways away. I would go to China, walk to China if I had to learn what I've learned. It's helped me earn millions of dollars. You will have people there that will get up and speak and tell you what they've done by studying this. I have not taught this for 5 years. I don't know when I'm going to teach it again, but I do know I'm teaching it the 7th, 8th, and 9th of February at the LAX Marriott in Los Angeles. Go right now to the sgrevent.com and register. Most of it is sold out. There's still some seats left, but by the end of the night, they'll be gone. Now, if they happen to be all gone before you go there, send an email to admin@sgr or admin@proctorgallagher.com. admin@proctorgallagher.com, you will be put on a waiting list. And if anybody is not able to go, we will contact you. But do it right now. Make a decision. My goodness, it'll change your life. You will understand for the first time in your life how money is earned, the difference between the wealthy and the poor. See, the wealthy aren't always brilliant. Some of them aren't very bright at all, but they understand the science of getting rich. Why do people that are functionally illiterate can neither read nor write earn millions? And why is it that brilliant people are struggling to get by? We do not learn how to earn money. We're not taught how to earn money. The SGR event will teach you how to earn money. I'm going to tell you, I'm really good at this. I'm not much good at other things, but I'm very good at this. I've been teaching this now for 46 years. I study it every day. This is your opportunity. Go to the sgrevent.com. This is Bob Proctor. I want to thank Becca Hansen for putting this together. Sandy Gallagher, I want to thank you for coming on. We're scattered around the globe. Sandy's up in the Northwest, up in the Seattle area. Becca's down in Phoenix. I'm in Toronto. But you know something? We will all be at the LAX Marriott on February the 7th, and I hope you're there too. Just make up your mind you're going to be. You'll hear some phenomenal stories. You will meet some just crazily successful people, and you'll walk out of there a different human being, knowing how to earn money. And remember what I said. You will be amazed how much free time you have when you never have to think about money. This is Bob Proctor, and thank you.